Yeah. Hey, coach. What's going on? We are live. We did not do an introduction tonight, y'all. Hey, coach. What's going on?
What's going on? What's going on? How you feeling?
I am much better now that we're live. How are you tonight?
I'm well. I ain't gonna lie. I'm glad that we were able to go live. You want to share what you've been experiencing over there?
Hey, everybody. Hey, world. What's going on? Welcome to Mid Major Mindset. I am Jada J, the voice you are listening to right now. And the reason for this delay is because it's full moon energy. And I feel like every type of everything just stopped us on the technical end tonight. Or I should say myself. Coach came in and he was up and ready to go. However, me and all my expensive ass equipment was not wasn't working with me. So I apologize, world, but we are here and the replay still gonna be rocking. Thank you, coach, for staying up well past your bedtime. Thank you for Vanessa for letting your man stay up with us tonight. I apologize, sis. Love you.
Yeah, that nah, no problems, no problems. Yeah, it's funny because you mentioned you got all this expensive equipment and it's I mean, you've accrued it over. I don't know if I used that right. I tried though. You've collected it over amount of time, and we were joking because I spent like $40 on my equipment and it seems to be working okay to this
Perfect.
point. I probably only got a couple weeks though, and then it's probably gonna blow up or something.
Nah, negative, coach. You got that on lock with your $40 equipment, as opposed to Road that should be sponsoring. That should be a sponsor, but they're not yet. But they did sponsor this equipment. But thank you, Road.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, what else you got going on tomorrow? What you got going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow, literally just going to be editing this and getting this out, pushing this out, getting my stuff ready. Oh, actually, I'm really excited about tomorrow, coach, because I don't know if you remember about a grant I was telling you about that I'm trying to apply for through the NJEDA, and it's
Hmm.
offering a six-figure grant for businesses if you put together like a educational media or movie or situation in film. So we have a webinar about the information and how we put in the application, how we go about applying. Like we have that tomorrow, so I'm very very excited about that. I would love to bring more opportunities in media and more sponsorship, or that's not the word I want to say, but just more opportunities to my young kids in the city of Newark, New Jersey, for media and sports, and just give them an opportunity to see that, it's so much more than just running up and down the court or the field. Like it's so much more, and they can start so much earlier than we did. Like the NCAA did not let us have jobs and did not let us have these type of opportunities, but these kids can start in high school and have this. So God willing, I'll be able to get that, secure that grant, and we'll get the information tomorrow. So that's what I got going on tomorrow.
Oh, that's big time. That's big time. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know what day of the week is tomorrow. Is tomorrow Wednesday or Thursday?
Tomorrow's Thursday.
Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. So I got practice tomorrow evening with my ninth and 10th grade boys groups. That's always that's always fun. I think my ninth graders have a tournament this weekend, so that's always something to look forward to.
And coach, just introduce yourself again, so we'll get the audience used to our voices. But you're listening to.
Your boy Pinnock, man. Yeah, I got to get used to doing that. Yeah, that's your boy Pinnock, man. Here with my girl Jada J. Doing our thing here tonight on this mid-major mindset podcast. So you ready to jump into it?
Oh, let's go get them.
All right. So first trending topic has been a trending topic for a little while now. Um, 100 men versus one gorilla. And we're not going to just say 100 men. We're going to say 100 men and women versus one gorilla. Give me your 10 people you got to take in there with you.
Damn, I ain't taking nobody in there with me because we all going to die. Who is we going in there against a gorilla? A gorilla? We ain't learned nothing from Planet of the Apes. We ain't learned nothing from who about to take. But my top, I'd say five people I need to go in there with me. I'm gonna give Ali. I'm gonna have to give an assassin somebody that's a cold killer. So
You
I'm gonna
don't
give.
use your hands, so what kind of killer? Can't
Damn,
use
you
no
the only.
weapons. Can't
Damn,
use no weapons.
damn, you just shut me all the way down.
Only your hands. That's all you can use. You can't use your. I think 100 men, right? Logically, we could take a gorilla, right?
Really, you
But
feel?
the problem is, majority of us gonna die trying to come up with the plan. That's gonna be the issue. Like, everybody's gonna be trying to say we should do it this way, we should do it that way. And while we conversing about that, the gorilla gonna get the drop on us.
Here go my Virgo ass. We not going in the pit without a fucking plan before we get there. Like who
See,
attacking who on the front, who the Marines, who on the front, who coming from the sky, who coming
hmm
from the back. We gotta have a plan before we get there. Who about this? Shoo.
we we could take the gorilla, but we gotta know that we not all 100 of us not living to tell the tale. Probably about 60 of us gonna live. Probably 30 of us will be able to talk because some of us gonna get beat really, really badly.
See
But
how I'm gonna be
we
in
could
the
take a gorilla.
I'm gonna be in the one that's gonna be able to talk because I'm gonna be commentating on the sidelines for Zeus Network for the dumb shit we
I was
walking.
getting ready to say, like, I'm saying we, but I'm not gonna really be there. Like, I'm not that adventurous. So
We the
I'll be
GM.
doing what I'm doing right now, talking behind the microphone and the phone. I ain't fucking with no gorilla.
Full facts.
Yeah, yeah, that's a funny little thing. I can't wait for it to go away. Like, remember when people was walking on them crates
Oh, now that
during
was hilarious
COVID and
in the hood.
busting?
That was hilarious.
Yeah, that shit was hilariously stupid. Like, I couldn't wrap my brain around that. Same thing with this 100 men versus gorilla. You know, this is adult shit. So, we both partake in the herb. I don't know what they was doing when they came up with that, but I guess good job. Um, let's go to the movie theater. Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler, the movie Sinners. It has made over $230 million worldwide. In the box office. That was a nice touch there. That was a real nice touch.
My bad. Sorry that was loud in your ear, coach. My bad.
Nah, that was right on time. I just caught me off guard, but I love it. Um, Sinners. Have you seen it yet?
I definitely checked it out a couple of weeks ago. I loved it. I was in love with it for so many reasons. Um I would strongly just suggest go see it. Go check it out. Go check and go in there with the open mind. Like if you're going there expecting a lot of blood and gore and horror, you might be disappointed. But if you go in there with the open mind and just but apparently they're doing something 250 mil. Come on, they doing yo, nah.
I mean, they're an amazing team. I mean, they're an amazing team. They've already proven that. They've made some amazing movies already. Obviously, Black Panther, and they're pretty good together. So I think they'll work
Oscarville.
together for a long time.
The first one was Oscarville, right? Am I saying it right?
Hmm. Yeah,
Fruitville Station. Hmm.
Fruitville Station. Yeah, yeah.
But in Sinners, shout out to the young lady. I cannot pronounce her name, but the young lady, I don't know if you ever got into Lovecraft Country. That was a television show on I think it was on HBO, maybe.
I think so. Yep, I think so. I know everybody was upset that it got canceled after one season. So I didn't get a chance to jump on it. But again, I'm not a fan of scary shit. Like, it's not a feeling I want to feel.
Hey,
So
Coach, I
I don't really.
promise you, when you and me are the same in that area about the scary shit. I promise you, and that's the reason I did not watch Lovecraft Country when it was out and everybody was raving about it on Twitter.
Hmm.
But I watched it because it was on Tubi for free. Danny, when I tell you I binge watched the shit out of it and it wasn't really about it was kind of scary stuff with ghosts and stuff like that, but the storytelling and how they I'm a mini Black Panther. Like in my head, I'm a Black Panther for real, for real. So how they
Right.
was telling the story of like just the what we went through was another great yeah. Anyway, I said all that to say the young lady who was in Lovecraft Country who played Journey's sister was one of the twin brothers' love interests. She was I think the young lady's name was Annie in the movie. The black girl from I think she's Nigerian and British, maybe,
Okay.
and her character was just entwined with spirituality, and she was the one that was to recognize what they were dealing with in the underworld, because as
Hmm.
above so below, and how to deal with herbs and how to deal with healing with just natural, and just like just to see that in the Haint Blue, and just how they brought every if you know about the spiritual world and about like like the whole hoodoo, voodoo, all that stuff, you would like this. You would like this movie.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I ranted all the way in. I just think it was a really, really good movie.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, Another movie that's coming to the box office here soon. Final Destination: Bloodline. Um, Although this is a scary movie, it's more funny than scary to me. Like I'm looking forward to this one, and I always think about how the first one or the first few traumatized me as a teenager. Like I can't drive on the road and see a truck with logs on it. So I'm excited for this generation of teenagers that get a chance to have something to probably traumatize them the same way it
Mm,
traumatized us.
definitely still a thing. A whole generation of us will not drop behind
Mm-mm.
or walking under a ladder. Or what was the one at the end of
Hmm.
the first one with the ladder or something like that?
Man, there were so many crazy like that. It's scary, but it's funny. Like, cause the shit is so like I don't know, but I can't wait to see it. I think it's gonna be hilarious and gross and all of that good stuff. I won't be scared. I think I'll laugh. I'll laugh more than I'll be scared.
I feel like you put me on like there's now six Final Destinations. Did you tell me
Mm.
that?
I didn't know there were six because I stopped watching them. I didn't go there. I can't watch that. Only movie I could stay with like that was Rocky. Man, any movie that goes past four, I'm not checking. I'm checking out.
Not invested.
Nah, I'm checking out. It's too much. It's too much. Um, the Met Gala was
Mm.
a couple weeks ago, I guess now. The theme for the Met Gala this year was uh I guess black people.
Oh, black dandyism.
Yeah.
Black people.
you that's not really my thing. So I had to do research on the Met Gala to actually see what it was.
Mhm.
Um and I was not impressed. Let me just say let me
Oh
just say
my
that.
god.
I
Oh
was
my
not impressed.
Danny, are you serious? Are you okay? So I remember you saying that you hadn't heard about the Met Gala before, and you had to do research. In my head, I'm like, you've heard about the Met Gala, you just didn't know that's where the situation happened at. How Imma
Yeah,
bring it all
I
together
mean,
for you. You know about the Met Gala because that's where Solange was whooping Jay-Z ass in that elevator. They was coming from that good old Met Gala. So you've heard of the
mhm.
Met Gala. You just ain't know that's what the hell they was doing, and they
I-
stuffy asses, and why they stuffy asses had whatever on.
that may be, but I'm gonna stick to I'm not an elitist. And the Met Gala is some of the most, if not the most elitist shit that I've ever heard of. Um, it is a it is a fundraiser
Mhm.
for rich people. The cause is a museum, a costume division of a museum. All of these millionaires and billionaires get together and raise money for another rich or like who gives a shit, right? Like I can't get behind that. I don't care about the outfits. I don't care about the celebrities. Like it is the most elitist thing that I can think of. And it is I can't get behind it. I just can't.
Okay, so D, let me ask you this on the flip side of that. So what we in my head when you're saying elitist, because in my head you're an elitist too on the basketball world, like whatever, we're elitist in my head, but we're whatever. But
We're not.
in my head, you saying we're not
We're
because
not.
we're not Michael Jordan, we're not.
I'm a realist, right? Like I'm a realist. I was really good at basketball, no doubt about it. I was really good, right? But I wasn't elite. Because if I was elite, my bank account would look mighty different, right? Like LeBron James is elite. Like
Facts.
I just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Am I unique? Am I still in that percentile where most people haven't had a chance to get to? Absolutely. But I'm a realist. Like I was good, no doubt about it. I wasn't elite, you
I'm
know.
gonna
And
talk my
some
talk. I was elite
no doubt
shit.
about it,
I
as you
didn't know I was
should.
elite shit. Like,
You should, but I just always keep it a buck, man. Because
right?
even like things when people say like I played in the NBA, I correct them. No, I didn't play in the NBA. I got drafted, and that's a major accomplishment. You know
Yes,
what I
it
mean? But
is. That's what I'm
it's a
saying. You're an
major
elitist, bro.
accomplishment.
Like, how you gonna say you're
Like
not?
hear me out. Hear me out now, because there's nothing wrong with being in your lane and understanding your lane. I think
Mhm,
that's what's gonna, you know what I'm saying,
mhm,
eventually open some things up for me because I'm not the type of person that's gonna sit here and try to say, I played in the NBA. No, I didn't play in the NBA. I got drafted, but I had a hell of a career overseas, had a hell of a
mhm,
college career. Can you say that? You know what I mean? How many people do you know? So it's not about not, or dimming my light or not shining. No, it's being a realist. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was good. You were good. We were great, but we were not elite. Like, and that's okay.
okay, and I had a
That's
question from you from last night, and I
mm,
wanted to ask you this, and I don't know if it contribute to maybe one of the reasons why you felt like we know that George Washington was a great fit for you and it worked out perfectly. But I was thinking this, do you think that because you guys moved around as much as you did, it was going to be hard for you to be recruited or to be like on an ABCD circuit or for do you think that may have contributed to why like your name didn't ring as many bells in the top 25 schools or whatever?
nah. Because the way we moved, like we were stationary for high school, like from eighth grade to my 12th grade year, we were in one place, right? So we moved around like um before I started school, we moved in two places already. Then from kindergarten to second grade, I was in Alaska. And then from third grade to seventh grade, I was in Alabama. But from eighth grade until 12th grade, I was in one spot. I was in Georgia. The reason people knew about me, um, people knew about me. The reason that I didn't like have like a super big name coming out of high school is because academically I was terrible. I wasn't going to qualify. I was going to have to be Prop 48, if anything, to play on the Division I level. Now I was being recruited by all the top junior colleges in the country. Hutchinson Community College. I don't know if they're still on top, but they were when we were in school. All the schools in Kansas and Texas, the
Mhm.
JUCOs. I was being recruited by all of them, but academically, I wasn't going to qualify to play D1. So that's why I wasn't. That's what I always say. Like that's why I wasn't, a McDonald's All American or anything like that.
Mhm.
One, my team sucked. We didn't win, and academically, I couldn't qualify.
Hmm.
So
You know what's
that's why.
interesting to me? Even hearing, I didn't know what a Prop 48 athlete was.
Mhm.
And then two, also how weird that is for me, right? Because I know, say your girlfriend, shout out to, I don't know if you wanted to display that, but I've already disclosed that. So sorry,
Oh
ladies.
yeah, yeah. That ain't no issue. Yeah, that ain't.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
I'm
like
spoken for.
definitely spoken for, all the way spoken for, and I'm gonna make sure he's
Hmm.
spoken for, damn it. But
Yeah.
VP who
Shit, we
came
9 years
from,
in. I ain't starting over. Shit.
you said nine? Y'all
We 9
nine?
years in. Yeah, I'm
Y'all
41 years
nine?
old. We 9 years in. Ain't nobody starting over.
Y'all been dating that long?
we ain't dating no more. Like we together. Like we not married, but we yeah, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't dating. No, we way beyond that. Uh, I got some different views. Like we, you know what I'm saying? I've been married before. Eh,
Huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. I've been married before. You know, I'm
I probably
divorced
did know
and
that.
yeah, ain't no point I mean, if she wants it, we can do it, but it ain't no real, you know what I mean? Like to me, marriage is a business proposition at this stage of life. And she don't, I mean, if she wants it in writing and she wants a ceremony, we can do all of that. But I'm not going to no judge. I'm not going to no government to make some union so they could tax us off that shit. I'm not doing it. I'm past that.
Okay, so I do have questions,
Man,
and I'm a
mm-hmm.
journalist, so I'm
Right.
always gonna ask a question. You don't have to answer. If I go too deep, you don't have to answer. If you want to say mind your business, mind your business. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
So, because this kind of goes into relationship, and I don't know if it's really true for women still to this
Mm-hmm.
day, but I know marriage for a lot of women, it is a bit of security. Like if anything happened to this man that they have shared all their life with, like if he passed away and they're married, they're
Right.
taken care of and their kids are taken care of as well. I don't
Right.
know if that's still like a real life thing in today's society and with like how everything's shaking out. But
Right.
if that was the case, would you consider that?
Yeah. That's why I said we can like you don't have to sit down in front of a judge. Once you've been divorced, like right, you get like being married is only really paperwork. That's all marriage is paperwork. You got to go down to the courthouse and then you got to let them know that's all it is paperwork. So what is if I don't believe in that and I want my lady wants to be married, okay, cool. We can have a ceremony, you know what I'm saying? We can get some rings. We can sit down and draw up a contract between you and I. We can have it notarized and we can go put it in a safe somewhere. And everything that is mine, and when I leave here, you're the beneficiary and all my stuff. Marriage again is a government thing. It doesn't. It's an institution of marriage, and again, it's one of those things that has not evolved. It is the same
Oh.
as it was hundreds of years ago.
So let me,
That's
because I don't, again, because I've never been married, but this what my good auntie's been telling me. My good aunties told me this.
good aunties, right? Listen to what I just said. We're talking about things that have not changed. Marriage has not changed. You just said your good aunties. Your good aunties were out here in these streets, and these streets were completely different. Your aunties
True.
before then, right? Like, th- we are not I'm not my great, like, our, listen, I'd say this all the time. I got the best of both worlds. I have a father who is from Latin America, so I get to see a Latino family. I have a Latino family, and I also have an African American family, right? And the families resemble each other. And when I look back at men throughout the years, men weren't shit.
You're right. Men still might not be
Dude would
shit.
literally be married and have a whole family 2 streets away. And the woman in the house, his first wife, would conduct herself in a manner where you would even not even know that she knew what was going on. But at the same time, she's
Mhm.
giving that family money because that baby over there, mama ain't worth a damn, but that's still my husband's son or my husband's child. So she making sure that the baby's good because she don't want people in the town talking bad about her. Women ain't doing shit like that no more, and they shouldn't. No woman should have to sit there and go through that.
Okay,
But we're
so
still talking about the same institution of marriage, though.
where I was going with that, my auntie said to me that, like, say in a situation you were married first, right? Y'all are divorced, everything's done with. You pass away, it don't matter whatever paperwork you and Vanessa got on paper. If that shit don't stand up in court, this is what my auntie telling me that she was married 4 times. Like she was on my heels about getting married, like on my
Hold
body
on,
about getting married.
say that again. Though, start back over. Say it one more time.
So she was like, the reason why it was important, because I came to her with that, like, Auntie, now this shit a business. Like, ain't nobody getting married out here, this, that, and the third. She was like, nah, Jay, the reason why it's important It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or whatever. The reason why it's important to get married because okay, her first husband, they got divorced. He got remarried and everything. He passed away. His first wife got everything.
That was on him.
So that's not some law abiding shit like the first
No,
wife.
that's
Like if
again, you can go change the beneficiary on anything. That's why it's important to have your papers in order,
true.
right? Like you can change the so that was on him. Whatever he did, he probably his old ass probably forgot to go back and change the name on something, and that's how that happened. You know what I'm
True.
saying? But that's why I'm saying we gonna go ahead and write up what how we want this to look. We want you the beneficiary on everything. If something happened to me, all my estate, everything that I have goes to you. You distribute it to my children, and but we put all that in the paperwork, and we go get it notarized. This is a legal binding document now, and we put that in the safe. Why do we got to go to the courthouse? Why do we got to go to the courthouse? We can do this by ourselves.
True. I don't know. I don't even know if I still believe in marriage. I'm not sure. Cause in my
It's
head, I still want to believe in marriage. G. Like I still would want to be somebody's wife. Like I still would want to be in a loving. Because they say like the most wealthiest people are those that are married in a like a real sustainable, committed relationship. Like I would want that. I would want me and my kids, if I so have them, surrogate or whatever, IVF or whatever, to all have the same last name. Like I still kind of am I going to get that from a black man? I'm not sure at this point. I would love to hold on to the whole black love and all that stuff, but and I would love to hold on to the whole marriage dream. But the reality of the way life is flowing, is that a real life? Is that real life? I don't
it is, but there's no such thing as a conventional, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's different. Now again, back in the day, if a woman of your maturity, right? Because I know better than to say, your age or something like that out loud. So your maturity, right?
know.
Talking about having a kid and stuff like that was out of this world. No way. But now here we are talking about it, and it
Mhm.
is more normal than it was back then.
Mhm.
So there is no like again, everything in the world has changed. There are certain things in this world that have not changed or they haven't changed a lot. For example, school, education. You walk into a classroom today and you take a picture from 100 years ago. The classrooms don't not resemble each other. The desks are still going to be in a row. There's still going to be a board in front. The teacher's probably going to have a desk in the front or the back of the classroom. Not a whole bunch has changed. Marriage. What has changed about marriage from the Bible?
Women are now allowed to make money, and we kind of well, shit, bullshit. Because now we live in MAGA America, and we in the handsmaid tale. I'm not laughing, but damn, we back in the Bible days. Golly,
So yeah, okay, women can work, but
and
but
we
but
can
the
sustain for
institution of
ourselves,
marriage, what has changed?
and we can
That
add to the
that hasn't changed
household.
in marriage. That's changed in society. That hasn't changed in marriage. If you
Okay.
look at paperwork in a marriage, and it's still almost said like to honor and obey. That wasn't written for man and woman. That was written for women to say to men.
Yeah, about that way. But now,
It's
if my
like,
husband, if he was a stand up dude, and I know we rocking out, and I could follow him like it's supposed to be on some biblical shit, and he is the head of my household, and I'm supposed to fall in
don't
line.
do it. Don't do it. Don't
Why
do it,
not?
Jada.
Why
Don't
not
do
be
it.
submissive?
You saying you could follow him on some biblical shit?
No, no, no. I'm saying I could follow him on
Uh,
some. He's the head of my household. He has shown
Okay.
himself and proven to me that he is. He. I am safe with him. He is my provider. He is my love. I am safe with him. So then I'll be able to submit. I would think I would be able to submit. and obey. But then I'm gonna talk back. Like you gonna get a talk back. I'm gonna
But
listen.
again, when we're talking
When you
biblical,
leave, I'm gonna be
that
quiet
that would
again.
get you stoned. That would get you killed.
I would have been killed, Danny. I would have been killed.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That would get you killed.
I would have been out here
So
dead the way I talk
marriage,
to you.
like, so when we talk about marriage, now am I against marriage? No. I just honestly don't think it's for me. Not in the traditional sense of marriage, like
Even
going to
with
the
seeing your
courthouse
mom
and
and dad,
filing paperwork. Huh?
even with seeing your parents, even the how like you see like
Yeah.
full on like how that shit works out.
My parents ain't living in the same world that I'm living in. My parents
Right.
didn't live in the same world. My parents ain't meet in the same world. You know what I'm saying? Like again, my mom. No disrespect to y'all, but y'all not built like my mom. I've seen what my mom has gone through in 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Majority of y'all ain't sticking that out. That's just the reality of it.
Facts.
So that's you know what I'm saying. It to compare with my parents. I say that all the time because my dad will comment on things that go on in my life, and I got to tell him sometimes like, Daddy, you ain't got no baby mama, so you don't really know how this plays out.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't
Mhm.
know how this plays out. You
It-
giving me advice on what you would do, but you don't really have any advice because you haven't gone through it. So you're just giving me hypotheticals. So yeah, you're right. I have seen it, and it kind of lets me know that we're not really built like that anymore. Um, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I just think that you got to think about marriage in a different way. Um, you live in the same household. Now they tax both of you off of. I don't want to get into all of that. It's just different. It's different. It's different. I think, and it's not has nothing to do with love or. I'm talking about the business of marriage, like the paperwork of marriage. They track me enough through taxes and all of that. We good,
Nah, I feel it.
you know. Um, yeah, so that's just my view on that, man. We got so sidetracked just now, but we definitely started talking about the Met Gala and got off to
About love.
that other conversation. Absolutely. One more thing I want to touch on before we jump into other content. Robert Hinton Jr. For those that might not know, this is a man who son was shot down by a police officer. And after seeing the body cam footage that I think a lot of people were saying is looked like it might have been edited or something, he was irate, got in his car, found a police officer, and ran him down with his car and killed him. And is now on trial. What what's your views on that?
Let that man plead insanity and give him probation and let him go on about his life. And I saw that all them fucking cop. Let me calm down because I've
Talk,
dated
talk,
a few
talk. Why
cops.
you gotta calm down? Talk.
Cause that was some bullying shit, coach. That was some bullying shit. I saw that shit. I saw the clip where all them cops came in wanting to show some solidarity. But yo, this man killed this man's son. Like, come on, y'all. Like, at some point, who gonna stand up and be like, nah, like, stop, stop. We don't have to like stop. And again, if you scared to be a cop, and if you too scared to be there, don't be there. Go be a chef somewhere. Don't be there. Like I've dated, and I'm not even saying that on some bashing cop shit, because I've dated a couple of cops, a couple of sheriff's officers, a couple of detectives, lawyers, judges. Like I've dated men in the fucking legal system. So I'm not bashing that. But I'm saying that cops stop being assholes and stop treating people like shit and like you're above that and try to bully people when they have a human reaction. You killed this man's son. And it may have been edited. Cause me working for the motherfucking welfare, when my clients used to talk to me like like that all the day long and being around, like I've seen some corrupt I said that to say I've seen some corrupt shit happen in corporate. I've seen some corrupt shit happen behind the scenes to cover shit up. Even in media, just knowing some of the shit. That's why people give me NDAs all the fucking time. because they don't want me to say some shit that I know that I've seen some corruption.
Mm.
So no, get that man fucking judge, do the right thing. Don't send him to prison. Don't send him to motherfucking life or nothing like that. He went insane. He snapped. And it may have been premeditated, but that man snapped and he kind of had a fucking right, man. That's not okay. I shouldn't say that cuz politically whatever. I said what I said. I said what I said. Nene leaks. What
Right.
you think about it, coach?
Man, as a father of four sons, uh, I can relate in the sense that I know if it was me personally, um, I'm over marching and sitting down and you know I'm not a turn the other cheek type of person. So I support this man in any way possible. If I can, I sent a couple dollars to a GoFundMe because I could see myself in him. Uh, you get tired of seeing your people on TV dying, right? Like you remember a couple years back, there was a shooting in Las Vegas at a hotel at a concert. You remember that?
I think I do.
And they showed the footage of the police like running into the hotel and getting into the hallway and getting to the door, and then they stopped. Right? They never show a white man getting killed on TV,
Mm.
but
Mm.
I've seen Eric Garner take his last breaths on TV. I've seen Mike Brown get shot down on TV. I've seen Trayvon take his last breath on TV. My man that they shot down in Louisiana, I can't remember his name. I apologize for that. But I seen him take his last breath on TV. I saw Sandra Bland get dragged from a car, her lifeless body. I seen that on TV.
Going to be a professor.
So
Tiana.
at some point, right, like, and this is why I honestly believe like revolution is closer than we really think because people are getting fed up. That's what this is. Like, I know you kill my son and you're gonna get away with it. So what do
Like
I
the
fucking
cops that just
care?
got off with Elijah. Didn't was it
Right.
Elijah Ingram?
Man, I mean you name it. You name it. You name it. That's the part. I mean, you name it. Which one of those cops did anything? Went away, they lost their job, they got paid, they got a package, you know what I'm saying? While they sat at home for a little while. Like you get tired of it. So I can imagine that man seeing his son lose his life and go and get in his car. I don't really necessarily know that he would want to plead insanity. I don't know. I don't know that he would necessarily want to do that.
Because he stood on business.
He stood on business. So that to me would be my stance. Again, it's easier said than done, but I think put in that situation, it'd be a lot easier to react the way that he did and not really give a shit about the outcome for myself because you've already taken, you know, a piece of me that can't be replaced. And if I got to go do time, I think everybody that know me wouldn't be messed up behind it. But that's just my 2 cents on that. But I support that man, and I think he had to do what he had to do.
That's the full. I understand that, coach, completely, 100%.
You are. I mean, I feel for the officer's family. Um, he had nothing to do with it. I guess I don't think it was the officer that shot his son. Um, but they're casualties of war. And sadly, that's a war that's been going on for a long time, and it's never, I don't think a lot of people look at it like that. Being a black man, I definitely look at it like that, and I think sometimes when we express that, people try to say it's like, oh, it's an excuse, or it's not a real thing. But I definitely feel hunted, right? Like I don't have no warrants. I'm not out here breaking the law, but yet every time I drive my car and a police officer gets behind me, I get nervous. And it ain't just nervous because I might get a ticket for speeding. It's nervous because I know interaction with him is more deadly than anything else that I do throughout my day on a regular day. You know what I mean? So
I was talking with a
that's,
young man. He's a friend at this point. He's married, younger guy. He grew up in LA. And he is the most proper black man, like educated. He's a therapist and everything. He told me he got arrested. I think he told me about 20 times or got detained,
mm,
maybe 20 times before he was 21. His mother, like his parents, his family are like they're doctors and educators, and but he was in LA during them Rodney King riots. Then they moved out to a white suburban area. This man told me the first time he ever got arrested at gunpoint, he was trying to help a high school teammate of his. He collapsed in the middle of the street, was having a medical emergency. A lady thought that he was robbing him or doing something and called the cops. The cops came and had this man at gunpoint when he's a kid, like 14 or something like that, trying to help his Asian uh homie. How many
yeah.
like this story still this 20 years later, and now y'all mad because this man has mm, mm, I get it. I
Yep.
get it. People
That's
tired. Ain't Donald y'all and I say this about Donald Trump. Shout out to Donald Trump because well not shout out to him. He's just a Fordham alumni. So I got as Ramley, I gotta say that on some political shit.
no,
But
you don't. Like I said, like
I
no,
don't.
you don't. You don't have to say it. Like I mean, if you support Trump, that's great. I don't.
Oh no,
He's the
don't support that
president.
motherfucker.
So, so yeah. I'm old school. Like if the best way to not support you is to not give you any attention. So we don't.
Mm.
I think we need to go ahead and say if we saying his name on this podcast, uh, it's like making a fool of him in some way. Like it's not a support. I know he went to Fordham. We're not gonna hold that against you or my baby. Yeah, y'all had nothing to do with that. Like that was before y'all. Like, but let's not mention that too many more times on here.
Facts. I'm definitely I am. I did apply for media passes, D, because I want to be in the White House for the bullshit. If he giving out
Absolutely.
media passes let me sit there and talk my shit too then. And we going if Donald Trump really about that business shit and he really don't hold grudges and shit like that, let's really have a conversation then. Let me in the fucking media room. Let's really have a conversation. And don't revoke my media passes when I'm coming in there talking real shit. Let's
Yeah, he's
really
not
have
gonna
a
do that.
conversation. They're not gonna let me do
He's
that.
not gonna let you in. Nah, he's not gonna let you in. No, she can't come in. No.
She too
She's
pro
amazing,
black,
but no, yeah, he's not gonna go with that. He's not gonna let that happen.
Black Panther ass.
Yeah, nah. Oh no, no. He's gonna turn you away immediately. Like, Is she go? Is she got a dashiki on? Hell no. He gonna let you in there. Well, does she have on kente cloth? Nope.
With my
Not gonna
Afro
happen.
puffs.
Yeah,
Shoot.
not gonna happen. But exciting day tomorrow. The WNBA kicks off tomorrow evening with the Atlanta Dream. Yeah, the Atlanta Dream be traveling up here from. I just said that they'll be traveling up here to Washington D.C. So where I'm from versus where I live, um, the Dream and the Mystic. That's a pretty good. Like those names like go together pretty well.
I
The
forget
Atlanta Dream versus the
Brittany down
Washington
there
Mystics.
now.
BG is in Atlanta now. Yes,
Yes, she
yes.
is.
Yep. They Yeah, I'm looking forward to an exciting season this summer.
Mm.
Also in action tomorrow, the Minnesota Lynx will be taking on the Dallas Wings, and the late game will be the Los Angeles Spurs versus Sparks. Excuse me, getting tired. And the Golden State Valkyrie, which they'll be making their first their debut, brand new team, expansion team. So, what you looking forward to this season?
Of course, Asia Wilson, and I need
Hmm.
every collection, every piece in her collection, every shoe colorway pattern. I need that Saturn crop hoodie. I need a right leg sleeve, Nike, Kim Hampton, Jessica Moore. Who else I know that? Coach Yolanda Moore, who work at Nike. If y'all can make this happen, please and thank you. Shit, Coach Crawley, I know we beefing, but you married to her cousin, so if you, I'm not shit, but I'm looking to see.
Why y'all beefing? Can we talk about that on here? Why are y'all
Yeah.
beefing?
So what happened was when I Clubhouse was popping really, really hard, and I felt like Coach Crawley didn't have my back in some situations that went down on Clubhouse, and I felt like she took some pink people's back and didn't have my back at all.
Mm,
And I just felt like she left me stranded out there in this world, knowing that my grandmother passed away, knowing that I needed family. I felt like she just left me stranded. And that's not the first
yeah.
time she did that to me. Like Coach Carly, old school, like you said, is a difference in generation. So Coach Carly about that mindset about yo, get what you want, don't say nothing, and just get what you need because they're giving it to you. It don't matter how they treating you. If they giving you something,
Mhm.
just take what they giving you. I ain't about that shit. You're not gonna treat me like shit and try to give me a handout and try to say that you doing something for me. Like, nah, that's not cool. Like, just treat people cool. But that's the only reason we was beefing anyway. But I just felt like she wasn't there for me, and that wasn't the first time. So she said what I said. She said what she said. I said what I said, and that is what it is. I don't even know how I got to coach. Oh, about gear, but
Mhm.
WNBA. Looking forward to all the just the juiciness of the WNBA. Like a lot of people be like, the WNBA is boring. I feel like they're not tuning in. Like the WNBA is not boring by
It's
any
not.
means. Like if y'all know the storylines behind the scenes, if y'all tapped into the storylines and the drama and stuff behind the scenes, you would be tapped in. Like the basketball on the court is great basketball. Like it's Aaliyah Boston. I'm looking forward to seeing her playing with Caitlin. Um,
Mhm.
Sydney, I think Sydney Colson's now playing out in Indiana. I would love to see how that combination is going to go in Indiana. Like um, who else is playing together now? Like Brittany Griner down in Atlanta, because
Yeah.
her whole career she was with Phoenix, so she had played in
Phoenix.
Diana Taurasi. We're not going to see Diana Taurasi this year. How the
Out of there.
WNBA has now evolved. Like
Yeah.
y'all talking about the W boring. Y'all no y'all boring. Not okay now.
Well,
Well, sorry, I'm about to go on a rant, Coach.
no,
I
go
apologize
ahead. Keep going. Don't keep going. You're fine. I clear my throat. You good. Keep going.
because you know how I feel about the WNBA and you know how I feel about women in sports.
Yes, ma'am. That's why we
WNBA,
doing this.
could y'all give me and Coach D some media passes this year? Cause y'all blessed our life. Y'all blessed my life. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I used to get media passes to the New York Liberty games. I was at the Atlantic Dream games. I was at the Dallas Wings games. I was at the who else did I have? I missed the Connecticut game because it was my birthday weekend and I was driving up. Anyway, I missed that game, but I was getting media passes everywhere. Could y'all give us media passes? I know y'all popular now, but don't forget about the real ballers out here. We've been here for you, W. Shout out to me because I had one of the largest rooms of the WNBA on Clubhouse when it was popping. Like, come on, WNBA. Like, we support. Like, we are here, been asking people, begging people to come to the games, been going into bars. Like, nah, put that WNBA game on the big screen. Stop playing with me. I want to see no damn baseball. Who watch baseball in real life? Put that WNBA. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think a big reason why a lot of people, especially these days, why people don't think the WNBA is, good basketball or whatever, is they don't really watch the game, right? Even with the men's
Mm,
game, they don't really watch the game. They watch highlights. So they want dunks, they want, block shots, they want stuff that the men's game offers. Because I'll have the conversation with dudes and they'll be like, yeah, I miss the 90s and the physicality of the 80s and the 90s. And I'm like, well, the WNBA is way more physical than the NBA
every night.
because nobody's playing above the rim. So the paint is very physical, right? Like
It's
you're not watching that
spicy
part, right?
at all.
Um, when you talk about execution, you in general, the women's game is a cleaner game because women are going to run the set. They're going to run the play. They're going to set solid screens. Because the majority of the girls are not freakish athletes, right? Like your top athletes are all athletic. Like it's not like you have a LeBron James athlete who is so much more superior. LeBron for the last 20 years has been the most athletic person in the NBA. Like there's a group of women that are all athletic at the top of the WNBA. So it's like they have to, and in women's basketball in general, to me, it's always been a cleaner game as far as execution. I always feel like women are better shooters than men because we want to get to the rim and dunk, where girls are going to shoot the basketball, because, they can't dunk. So, majority, and that's changing too. Um, I've always thought, I mean, here's a crazy thing, right? The women's basketball is smaller, right?
Hmm.
So why not lower the basket just a little, right? Like the basket is 10 feet tall. If you put the basket at 9.5, now a Brittany Griner can get a dunk off of a drop step a lot more than once a night, right? Um, a athletic player like what's my girl that plays got amazing footwork, Nafisha.
Nafisa Collier.
Now she's
Mhm.
making moves, and when she's finishing them at the basket, she's slapping the backboard, right? Like it just adds a little bit more of the highlight that you're looking for, right? Like now there is a dunk. Now there are rundown blocks, getting pinned to the backboard because you have women who are athletic enough to dunk the basketball if you put it at 9.5,
But here's
right,
the
and dunk
thing,
it.
it's not
hmm
about athletic enough, it's about nature. This is the thing y'all don't
That
get. We
who's y'all?
can't do men.
I'm suggesting it. How is it y'all?
Okay, so why that's not gonna work, why it's not gonna work, in my opinion, we about to change the whole game of basketball just to appeal to men to get y'all to come watch
Well,
us
no,
play.
time out, time out, time out. But if we're gonna start talking, if we're gonna have this conversation about appeal, it's not men. If the WNBA, if women's sports are depending on men to become the number one fans of it, then it's never going to get to where men's sports are. That's first and foremost. Women have
And
to be
that's
the
not
number one
okay.
fans
That's
of women's sport. It is true.
but
It
we
is
are
true.
the number one fan of
But you're
our
not.
league.
You're not. You're not.
Y'all
Stop.
can't
If you ask the
see.
majority of women, if you ask the majority of women if they want to go to an NBA game or a WNBA game, they're going to the NBA game. They're not going
To
to the
sit up on
WNBA
the
game.
niggas to get the niggas to get sit
It's
on dick at
not.
NBA All
Listen,
Star game. D, what you talking about?
what
We going to the sports
if you
bar to be up on the niggas. We trying to get some dick.
again,
Where the
so
niggas at the
again,
basketball games?
so
We trying to get
again,
dick. They're
so
not coming to the
again,
WNBA game because
all
they're not
right,
trying
go
to get
ahead.
no. They're not trying to go to the WNBA game because they're not trying to because they think everybody
So
left.
again, so what are they going to be a fan of? Are they going to be a fan of the nigga they trying to fuck, or are they going to be a fan of the girl playing basketball? So
They don't
again,
care. They
until
there's
women
space. There's
until
space.
women become the number one fan of women's sports,
D. Women
I'm
not a,
telling you.
all women. There are more sport men fans than women. Women
So you
aren't
think men are going to
the
leave
majority.
watching the
Hold on.
NBA to become
Listen what I'm saying
WNBA
to you.
fans?
Listen what I'm saying to you. Why that will never go? Women have a much broader interest than sports. Period. Men has been sports has been nominated for men, geared towards men. Men love sports. Period. Women,
Hmm.
that's not natural for us to love sports. Any women
So
that hold on. Any woman that loves sports, y'all called us tomboys. Y'all called us gay. Y'all called us abnormal for us to love sports because we were now dominant, because we were now masculine. That's why it's not going to appeal because it's not sexy for women aren't interested in sports. And when we were interested in sports, y'all automatically said, "Oh, that bitch gay as hell." D, how many times I've been gay, and how many times I've been called gay
we're
just because
we're
I'm a
gonna have to
tomboy.
work on saying y'all,
Okay, I
because
apologize. I
yeah,
apologize.
we're gonna
Yes,
have to work on that.
I
We're gonna
apologize.
have to
I
work
should
on that.
say men in the
Okay,
spectrum in the gram when we're speaking when I'm passionate about this because I'm speaking about men in the
for
spectrum.
sure. Hmm.
So sorry about saying y'all, but men in the
So,
spectrum. So it's hard for us. It was a 9 for 9. You know how the ESPN has 30 for 30?
hmm.
Women, there was a documentary series called 9 for 9, like Title 9, and it was all women directors and they were focused on women's sports. And one of the I think Ava DuVernay did this actual documentary. It's called, I think they were saying how sex appeals or how women we have to sell sex in order for men to be interested in us. We can't. Like, yes, the women are a lot of the women in WB are gay and lesbian, but you guys are saying, well, it's got to be more women that back them. More women don't like sports. A lot of more women are interested in the Met Gala
But
than
sometimes you gotta do things that you don't like if you want to see success. Like, let me just like I gotta intervene because
please.
you said some things that I hear you, but they have nothing to do with what I'm saying.
Hmm.
Right? You talking about, men told the women that played the game that they were, tomboys or they were gay, and I get that because I know that went on. But again, we're talking about if the WNBA wants to make money like the NBA does, women have to support them. Because again, everything you just said, have to sell, sex, and all of that is for men. I didn't say men. That is exactly why women have to become more fans of
But we
women's
there.
sport. Listen,
We there. D.
let me talk, please. You were talking about the athlete. I get that. I'm talking about the fan. Okay. If you think that a man who watches NBA basketball, has been an NBA fan, is going to leave the NBA to become a WNBA fan, it could happen, but it's probably not going to sustain to get the WNBA where it wants to get. For the WNBA to get to where it wants to go, because you actually proved my point when you said that the women are going to go to the men's game because they want to ride. You're absolutely right. So again, that is the fix. So you were proving my point when you said that, because I'm telling you that it's only going to work if women become the number one fan, because men have men's sports. It is as amazing as Asia Wilson is. You think people are going to pick her over LeBron,
Wait, say that
right?
again. Say that again.
As
Wait.
amazing as Asia Wilson is, as amazing as she is, if she's walking down the street and LeBron James is walking down the street, who do more people flock to?
LeBron James. But that's whack
Right?
too, because the Asia Wilson's
I'm
still
not
Asia
saying
Wilson.
it's not whack.
I
I'm
know,
not
I
saying
know.
it's not whack. What I'm saying is that women have to say, you know what? I understand that if I really want the WNBA to grow, I have to become a WNBA super. I have to become a fan, right?
And
Because
women
here's the
get
thing.
there
Here's the
though,
thing.
D.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Women's college basketball has a way bigger following than the WNBA.
Because there's men there too. And
No,
because they've
no,
been doing, there
no.
are a
You know
lot
why that
more men
is?
fans.
Do
Why?
you know
Please.
why that is? No, it's not.
There
It's
are.
not.
I've literally
It's
seen men
not. It's
fans
not that it's
follow
meant.
Rutgers women's
It's
basketball
not.
or
I'm
follow
not saying.
UConn.
Listen, those men are there, but in the college game, usually those men are then there because they have a daughter that likes basketball, right? They're not necessarily fans. They're a fan because they want their daughter to play basketball. Their daughter likes basketball, so they go. That is why they're a fan. But that connection is lost when it gets to the WNBA. College sports again is a family thing, so mom, dad, the kids, everybody's going.
But
Those
I feel
things
like I
that you
don't know why
mentioned,
that
those things
connection
that
is
you mentioned
lost.
earlier about those things that you mentioned earlier about the gay and these are obstacles that the WNBA has to deal with. Absolutely. I can you imagine the dads in fucking Iowa why they love Caitlin Clark so much is because she didn't look like a gay black girl. That is the reason why the America loves her so much. And it's not anything that we you know what I'm saying. That's just the reality of it.
I know that because I'm still trying to teach the young girls even how shitty as it is. But even the WNBA fem up the stems. When you come in
They,
as your rookie year, you gotta fem up. You can't be a nigga all your life. You gotta fem up for sponsorship deals. Like I get that. I understand the business side of it. I understand the business
it's
side of sex sells. I still understand it because that's why my titties be out on fucking Instagram. I know majority of my fucking fan base is men. I know I gotta sell. I know I got a body yada yada up under these clothes. Men don't see that shit until they see my Instagram. When they see me in public, I got on hoodies, and then they looking right past me. But that's what I gotta deal with. Like, niggas be looking smooth. Like, who you? Who this nigga bitch?
yeah, yeah. I want to see women's sports grow, but again, women have to become fans of women's sports. Men's sports are gonna, like you said, men like sports.
But I
We're
feel
gonna
like
fill the
women
arena.
aren't
We're gonna
fans
come.
of men's sports. Women aren't.
Uh,
That's the
but
theory. Women aren't truly fans of these sports. They go to these games. They don't know what the fuck is going on in these games. I go to the games because
that's
I used to fuck football players, and
so
I
you
know.
telling me hold on, you telling me the lady who's sitting in the nosebleed is coming to the game because in her mind she's gonna catch somebody's eye and she's gonna fuck them.
And she
No,
might
she's
be
coming because
as delusional as some females are. Yes, yes,
that,
especially at All Star Weekend. Yes, don't matter where you are in that
I,
crowd, you want to get you some dick. You want to hop on
I
something, even if you're a bad bitch. You want if you thinking like that, yeah. Because any female, if they a bad bitch and they in the nosebleeds, hell yeah. Brittany
so
Reynolds,
how if that is the mindset of a woman talking about other women, then how you're right, it would never work
which what would
because
never
this
work.
is the support.
Because
Women
that's
have
what I'm saying. Women
you
aren't
can
fans of sports. That's
so
what
then it's
that's
not
my
gonna work.
original. That's my original theory. That's why we need the men to support us. That's my
Nah, you
original
can't.
theory.
You can't.
Women
That's
aren't
not gonna
fans of
happen.
sports, period. Not a
That's not
majority of
gonna
women
happen.
aren't fans. I get what you're
It's
saying, and
not
that's
about
some
the
fucked up
majority.
shit.
They have to support though. You
But
got to
they're
you got to
not.
support.
Women don't support
I
sports because
understand
of
that.
sports. They support.
I,
They support sports because they
you
trying to get.
understand that I'm saying that that
I
is what
know.
has to happen, not that it's
I get
going to
it.
happen, right?
I
Like,
get it. As long as we
like
still got the opportunity for some young ladies to get drafted to the WNBA, I'll keep paying my WNBA league pass.
uh,
I'll keep paying for some season ticket. I haven't paid for season tickets in a long time because I'm still trying to get my media passes. But I still want that opportunity for young ladies behind me so they don't have to go overseas. Thank God for Nafisa Collier, who started the league over here for the WNBA players that can play out of their season and make
it was
they
pretty
made a
cool too.
lot of money in
Yeah, Unrivaled
unrivaled.
was cool. It
That
was
shit was
cool.
dope. Tickets was
It
five
was
hundred
cool.
dollars to be in the building, but that shit made sense. That's how much in order for make women in order. Okay, so let's even go further, D. And I apologize 'cause I know you might be tired, but I go especially when it's women in sports. I saw something. I don't know if it was ESPN or whatever website it was. Maybe it's Sports Illustrated. But the top female athletes, the only two female athletes sports that said they got paid more from their sport than endorsement deals was tennis, and that was Coco and the boy's baby mother, uh the Japanese black girl. What's her name?
I can't think of it right now, but I know exactly what
Anoki or
you're talking
something.
about.
But
Yeah.
those
Oh,
and tennis is the only sports for women that they make in their profession makes more money for them
So let me ask you a
outside as
question.
sponsorship deals.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Do women not support women's tennis?
Women are there, but it's a lot more men in the crowd for women. It was a lot
Mm,
more women. It was a lot more men at a U.S. Open
there,
crowd
you
for
can't like
Serena Williams.
that's a argument that is not going to be able to stand with me because just in general, like there are always going to be more men at a sporting event. So what I mean by do women show up, right, is could you talk to women who are super knowledgeable about tennis? Like if we were in a gym, I go to Lifetime. We were in Lifetime, right? And this is not kind of fair because it's a majority white gym. But and that's kind of what I'm getting to. White women support tennis.
Because they have the money
Okay.
to support tennis from childhood, and they were involved in that in country clubs when they were younger. Where
Okay.
we was at, D, on the black side, we wasn't
I
in no
get
country
that.
clubs.
I get
We
all of
wasn't
that.
playing. I played tennis because Vanessa Watson. Shout out to Vanessa Watson that made me play everything in high school. That made me play golf
Mhm.
because she said the business deals was going to be on the golf course.
Right. I get it. I get it. All right. But let me finish making my point.
Yes,
All right.
sir. Sorry, mute.
White women support tennis. You just said that to women, the only sport that women were getting paid more off of their sport was tennis. So when I say women have the power to make things, women have to become fans of the WNBA for the WNBA to be able to stand on its own. See, that's the problem. The WNBA right now can't stand on its own. And you're saying for the WNBA to stand on its own, it needs men. That's like what black people do when they say we want to be on our own and then run to other people for help. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing.
D,
So
we
in
wouldn't be
order
here. We wouldn't be
for
here without the men. We would literally, there would be nobody would have
so
invested a
again,
dime in us had it not been
again,
for the NBA. We need men. We
I'm
need
not
y'all.
saying you don't need men. I said to be successful, women have to get more involved. The bottom line, you need men. Okay, great. I get that. But even with men being involved, you're still not satisfied with what you have. So in order for that to change, women have to get involved. It can't be left to the men because if it's left to the men, then it's always going to be secondary or
No, no, no.
third or fourth or fifth. It
I'm
is.
saying I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
So
Completely understand what you're saying. And it's still going to circle back to in my opinion that in
all
order
right.
for the WNBA to financially grow to where the NBA might be is if we had more men fans who would be able to come who would be willing to come to the games to spend that money separate of their daughters, separate of the women loving a woman that plays in WNBA.
So I'm gonna
And
be the ignorant. I'm gonna be the ignorant. I'm gonna be the macho man right now, right? And not myself. I'm gonna be the macho man and say, why would I spend all that money to go watch players that I can beat? Because that's what most men think.
that's what y'all think, but in reality, niggas,
Again, stop saying y'all.
I'm
And
sorry.
I could
You
because
could
I
be me.
played.
You
Yeah.
got drafted to the NBA.
Right.
That's a
So
fucking count.
so yeah, like
Fucking
I ain't gonna say there's not some women in WNBA that can beat me now, especially that I need a replacement. But I'm pretty good. I think I could stand on my two with just about any player in WNBA and be okay. But again, like the average man who can't hoop at all, who's some shit, is gonna say, why would I pay money to go watch somebody that I'm better than?
I can't answer that D for the simple reason because two niggas that I kicked their ass personally in some fucking trainer sneakers in my glasses. Hooping at 39 years old, kicked their ass. They came into the shop the other day and I recognized them. I like y'all. I remember y'all. I kicked y'all ass. You ain't do that shit. You ain't kick our ass. I don't know. I got film on Instagram that showed that y'all was double teaming and triple teaming me on the outside court. I got film of this. Men going even when you kick a man ass as a female athlete, this man's ego is still not going to allow him to even say out his mouth to ever admit that he lost to a woman. I
And
can't.
you're
I
you're
can't do
arguing
battle
me,
with
and
that.
you're arguing me that it's those are the people that are going to, again, women have to become fans. Now it might not be grown women, it might be the next generation of young women, right? It might not be the women that you're talking about that are going to the games to do the things that you're saying they're going to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to keep saying I'm not going to keep saying that, but it has to be women when
But we
that
there, D.
happens. When
We
it
be packed
happens,
at the games. I've been going to games since the WNBA open. I've been getting free. I don't understand it because it's mad women at the games. It's mad women in strong powership for the WNBA. We're showing up. We're there. It's just not a majority of us again. Because then going back to my theory, a lot of
prove
women
it,
don't really like sports.
prove it, prove it. Show me how many female owners there are in the WNBA,
Okay,
and
that's a
then
separate thing. Hold ownership and
show
actual.
like. But you're saying that it like is what you're saying is not true. What you're saying like that is women that are showing up, and it's not true. That's not
Okay,
true.
owners. Las Vegas got a woman owner. Or maybe not Las Vegas. Los Angeles. Her and Magic. Atlanta has Renee Montgomery, who LeBron James and their whole coalition helped Renee get to become the general manager of the Dream. Um, Michelle Williams owns partnership of Michelle Williams and Destiny Child. I don't know if she still does, but Michelle Williams and Matthew Knowles owns partnership of Chicago Sky. There was a new married couple that just took the ownership of,
So are we talking about women or married couples? Because married couples involve men, right? You just mentioned some women
but
owners that are
that's
part
still
of
a woman owned
ownership
business
groups, so they're part of ownership groups,
behind
right?
which
Like
men help back them, which men still help back them.
again, you're proving my point by saying that men back them.
And I'm proving my own point. We need men. We need men's help. Like I'm
Well,
proving
again,
my
that's not
point. We need men fans.
that
We
wasn't
need
the
men fans. We
that
need
wasn't the
genuine
conver
men
that
fans.
wasn't the conversation that was being had. Because I never contested that. I never said that women by themselves. I never said that you didn't need men. That's not what I said. That was never part of my conversation or my rhetoric. What I said was until women become bigger parts, number one fan. That's actually what I said. Until women become the number one fans of women's sports. That is actually what I said. I never said that men weren't needed, or I never said any of that.
Okay, so D, can I counter this? Because in soccer, let's talk about the women's soccer team from because again that '96 Olympic team changed my life, not just in women's basketball. I was invested in Mia Hamm. I was invested in Brandy Chastain. I was invested in the other white girl that took her shirt off at the end at the thing. Women, they had a women's league, soccer women's league. After that, just like the WNBA had a league, they had a national women's league. When I tell you those women were coming out in droves to support, and I only know this because they had an ESPN documentary on this. Those women, people, they were, when I tell you they was out there supporting, buying tickets, they were going on tour, different tour stops for these women, which was able to start the women's soccer team, this women's soccer league. So
Mhm.
there was majority of women that was pushing that league and it folded. I think they might have come back with the league, but it still doesn't make the same amount of money. But when I tell you those women were out there supporting that women's soccer league like crazy,
And
like
they
they
got leagues
really
started all by themselves.
yeah, I don't think the
Right.
NBL helped them. I don't think that well, let me not speak on that. Don't quote me on that because I didn't really do my research like the WNBA because I really wasn't like into soccer like that. But I'm not sure the
Right.
NBL helped them. But even with that, our women's soccer league for the Olympics, we have won for ages. Our men's soccer league for the Americas, our men's soccer league don't get out of the quarterfinals. And the men's team still gets paid more than the women professional athletes.
You're absolutely
Because the
right. I'll
women
go a step further than that and tell you that U.S. women athletes are the most dominant athletes on the planet. Look
mhm,
at the Olympics; they dominate in everything: gymnastics, basketball, soccer,
mhm,
softball, volleyball, track and field, in the pool. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. The USA women are always dominating. There's no doubt about that. They should make more money. They should make more money than anybody. I mean, the women's basketball team hasn't lost in how many decades, right? Like I
mhm,
completely understand. I'm not one of these guys that is like, oh, I don't respect women at sports, and that's not me. But I understand money makes money. The
mhm.
WNBA has an issue with making money. You're talking about the USA soccer team. Soccer again is another animal. But you're completely right when you talk about the money. I also say this: that soccer team that you're talking about, that was one of the first group of women where it was okay to be gay. It was okay. It was okay to be gay. They were accepted to be gay. Most of those players, there were players on that team that were married to each other and all that stuff,
Really?
right? So
You
yeah,
telling me some new shit. I never knew that shit. That shit I didn't
yeah,
know because I was looking
yeah.
at it as
Those
a little girl as an athlete. They just was athlete. They were dope ass I ain't think about their sexuality and none of that
yeah,
shit like that.
all. I mean, you. I was young too, so but I knew what a lesbian was at a young
Y'all have been
age,
calling me a
right?
lesbian
Like
forever. Like, I mean, I
you,
can't say y'all. A
well,
lot of people been
again.
calling me a
So
lesbian for
all
forever, and I'm
right,
not a lesbian.
let's the type of young man I was, right? I didn't do that. I was the one that if a girl played basketball and she dressed like a boy and she hooped like I hooped, I found that attractive. So I talked to girls that hooped. I wasn't
Mhm.
like that.
Right,
Again, I'm married to a woman who's 6'3" who played college basketball. My ex-wife played college basketball. My
right.
oldest son's mother is 6 feet tall. She played basketball.
You got
So
athletes, bro. You got a
I
living room,
I
bro.
was yeah, I am so you keep saying y'all and bunching me in with dudes that
I
I promise
apologize.
you I don't fit in with, right? Because the Hooper like was the girl that I was attracted to because she understood me. She doesn't want to go to the movies. She wants to go to the gym. When I go play pickup, she's okay with going to play pickup, whether she's playing or whether she's going in a tank top and a skirt and some flip flops to watch me play. It's okay because she's a hooper, right? So I
Well,
can't relate to those guys that called you gay. They were dumb. Right? Like I understood like she gonna dig me, I'm gonna dig her and it's gonna be okay. Like I wasn't like the other guys. And again, most of the guys you're talking about are are dudes who are not our height. You know what I mean? The- So there's something
that's a
there.
fact.
There's an intimidation factor there. Yeah, she's bigger than you, of course. So I wasn't that type of guy growing up. Um, the female hoopers were attractive to me. And I wasn't into makeup and all of that. I got into it probably around my junior year. I started paying attention to all that stuff, but I really wasn't into that. I was a hooper. I wore basketball clothes to school every day. Um, I didn't take any pictures. I got in trouble. My mom got mad at me because she realized around my freshman year she didn't notice I didn't take any photos. I think it was my sophomore year when she finally said something about it. She was
Why you
like,
ain't
"You
take
don't."
pictures?
I didn't care nothing about that shit. And I didn't care nothing about it. I ain't care
Wait,
nothing
where you
about it.
grow up at it? Where you were in Atlanta? Okay, that's a different culture. Cause in my head, in high school and shit, even us as athletes, we was going to mall to go take some motherfucking pictures. We was going
Nah.
downtown North to go take some take some. That's just
Mm-mm.
interesting to see how different cultures and different regions like taking pictures. Who the fuck want to just take
Yeah,
pictures for free? I mean, for fun. Like who doing that shit? Like that's
I ain't
weird.
taking no school pictures. I ain't doing that. Like I ain't take no school pictures. Even
You ain't
my
take school
uh,
pictures either.
no, I ain't take school pictures. I my My mom made me take senior pictures. I didn't want to take them. Prom, I didn't go to prom. I went AAU. I had tournaments. I'd rather go play ball. Um,
Who are you? That's why you got drafted. That's why I didn't go to
Graduation.
the WNBA because I went to the prom.
My first graduation, because I went to prep school, I didn't care about walking. I didn't go to graduation. I didn't walk across the stage. I didn't care anything about that. I was on a AAU trip. Um, yeah, I didn't go any homecoming dances or anything like that. I think the last school dance I went to was probably eighth grade. Um,
Yeah,
it just
who are you guys? You and your homeboy Goten. Who are you guys that y'all wasn't going to the prom? That y'all wasn't
man.
going to dances? That y'all wasn't outside? And I wasn't outside these streets. But you better be sure I was at prom. Damn it! That's why I ain't go
So
to
we
WNBA.
when you grow up in the South, right, and where we grew up was kind of like the Hicks. Now it's not. Now it's considered Metro Atlanta now, but it wasn't back then. And we were in like perfect vicinity where like we could go to the city and hang out, do everything, and then come back out to the country. Like we like 30 minutes from downtown Atlanta, right? So in high school, like we were like some grown ass kids. We used to throw parties. Like so, I ain't go to prom, but I ain't tell you I ain't go to the basement party. You know what I mean? Like we had basement parties and we did
Basement
stuff like
party.
that. Oh yeah. My homeboy lived in this gated community. He lived in this gated community and we had a party in his basement. We used to have parties in his basement, man. And one night it got a little crazy. He probably had easily 125 people trying to get in this man's house.
Y'all
Police got
had real life
called,
house party
helicopters was
shit.
out. Yeah, it was pretty fun. So we live like, and then like going downtown to run and shoot was a gym. And right on it was on Cleveland Avenue, Metropolitan now. But it's a bunch of like strip clubs and stuff and the walkers used to be out there. So, it was nothing for us to like drive down the street. We 15, 16 years old. Um, and we at the gym. Like I would go to the gym at 8 o'clock in the evening, 8 o'clock at night, and I come home till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes the sun would rise because the gym was 24 hours. And
I've
it's
been
for
looking for that
everybody,
running shoot, but I heard it
all the
closed down.
hoopers. Yeah, it's closed. Yeah, it don't exist anymore. All the hoopers from Atlanta grew up in there. Like we literally were in there 24/7. Like, and again, I'm not from Atlanta. I'm from McDonough, which is 27 miles south of Atlanta. And I grew up in there. Like I'm in there Friday night. I'm in there after a football game. And then so Friday night I play a football game over like 11, get home, you know, go to bed, wake up with a cramp probably about 2 o'clock, can't go back to sleep. I go to my parents' room and knock on the door. Let me get the keys. They give me the keys. This is 16 years old. They give me the keys. I hit the road. I go to run and shoot, be in run and shoot from about 2 in the morning to about 12 in the afternoon. I then slept in the car for about an hour or two, back and forth from the car to the gym. Then I go home about 12. Then about 7, 8 o'clock, I go back, and I'm not going back home till Sunday. Till probably like Sunday around 4 o'clock. That was my weekend.
And they was letting you do this, and they wasn't on your heels. Like, where you at? What you doing? When you coming home?
They knew where I was at. They knew nothing gonna keep me from playing basketball. They knew exactly where I was at. They would rather like it started off like my dad would literally drive up there and sleep in the car, and he'd be like, "You ain't ready to go home?" I'd be like, "Nah, I'm good. A couple more hours." Now he's sleeping. He waking up in the car in the sun. He was like, "Bro, you gotta get your driver's license. I can't be doing this shit." So they knew exactly where I was at. They knew exactly, and I ain't had no cell phone. I did that from 16 until shit. I graduated college. Well, left college. I ain't graduate. But yeah, I
Yeah,
was a
that's
weird kid too. I ain't watch cartoons when I was little. I watched the Sports Machine.
the
Only cartoon I
sport.
watched growing up was I used to like Mighty Mouse and Speedy Gonzales. Those are my two cartoons. Other than that, I watched the Sports Machine and I watched my Michael Jordan Come Fly with Me VHS over and over and over.
What the hell is a sport machine? What
The
the hell
sports
is Sunflower
machine,
Cream?
oh man, the sports machine was like Sports Center before Sports Center before ESPN, and it would come on, and it would be like a little dude. Can't remember his name. It was like Larry Michaels or something in the sports machine.
I remember
He,
Ahmad Rashad.
oh, that's way down the line. That's inside the NBA.
That's the only. I guess that's when I started paying attention to sports. See, like,
Yeah.
I was a girl. I wasn't into sports then. I wasn't here then. I wasn't evolved yet.
See, we got to kill that. See, what you just said is the issue. Why can't you be both? These girls got to be both. They got to be able to be a athlete and a hooper and evolved and a girl. They got to be able to do it all at the same time and it be okay.
Now it's okay to be that. I love what the girlies are doing now. I
Hmm.
love that shit, Danny. When I tell you I love that shit, the main reason why I loved Kim Hampton growing up, because she was always like feminine. She always carried her Lisa Leslie. She always carried herself like a woman. Like I love
Right.
that. Like those are the women I look up to. But the reality is when we was in the sports and playing that shit, it wasn't okay to be girly girly. Not back then. Well, I should speak for myself. Cause at one high school in Jersey, they was all girly girly. Like you couldn't go to Temple, Don Staley. You couldn't get recruited at Temple if you ain't had no doobie back in the day. Stop playing with me. Go back and look at the rosters at Temple University and see how every single one of them had a doobie, pin curl set, and looking just like they coach. Like you had to be feminine, but I love what the girlies are doing now. Like I love that that's cool to be. And I also love that it's cool to be gay now in sports because I got a lot of teammates where that shit wasn't okay for them. They had to be closeted. They were told to be closeted. They were told to be less out there. Like, but nah, I'm cool with it. I'm for it. I will put on a cute dress. I told you I was late on Friday getting my damn nails done, D. I
All right.
put me in my soft girl era, honey. Put me in my soft girl era. I want to do the wigs. I want to do the lashes. I want to do it all now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This went way longer than it was supposed to, but I'm gonna
It
have to
went where it
call it
was
a
supposed
wrap.
to go. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it did. It did. But I'm gonna have to call it a night because I do gotta wake up in the morning to go to work. And them kids don't care. They don't. I gotta have some type of energy. I can't be yelling and cussing people babies out. I be wanting to though. I be wanting to. Well, I got an audio the other day. This little girl, one of my little kindergartners, she was talking to me, and she was saying her stomach was bothering her, and she was saying she went to the doctor, and the doctor told her all she could do was drink water and go to the bathroom, and but when she goes to the bathroom, her mom has to go with her because she doesn't know how to wipe yet.
Oh,
I said, "Oh, I didn't think the conversation was going to take a turn like
you
that.
gotta be on your toes with the
You got to
baby,
be on your
yo.
toes." She said, "She said, yeah, because I don't know how to wipe yet." And my mom said, "I don't know how to wipe." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Aw, baby girl.
Yeah. So, but yeah, nah. Let me go ahead and get some sleep and get ready for tomorrow. Um, Last words of the day. What you got?
Thanks for rocking with us,
What-
Coach. Thank you for being patient with me and my technical difficulties. As life, you continue to show up and push the content. What's the saying? You build it, they will come. You build it even
Build
without
it, they will
fussing.
come.
Build it, they will
Absolutely.
come.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I want to leave everybody with a story today. I told one of my cousins this story today, and it helped. It made him laugh. He was having a hard time, so I just told him a little story. And it's you might have heard it before about the cow, the bird, and the cat. Have you heard the story?
No, sir. Please put me
All
on.
right. So it was a bird, a cow, and a cat right there in this pasture. And the bird was, with this flock, and they were flying down south for the winter. The weather was changing. The grass had some dew on it, and it got cold. And he was kind of procrastinating, and the rest of the birds, took off, and he was like, "I'm gonna eat a little bit more before I take off." You know what I'm saying? He waited a little too long, and his wings got frozen, and he couldn't take off. So he started chirping, right? He started chirping and chirping and chirping. And this cow was in the pasture, eating and just doing what he do. And he heard the bird crying. You know what I'm saying? So he walked over to the bird and he shit on the bird. Took a big warm shit on the bird, and the bird got pissed off. So he started chirping and chirping, and then he realized he's getting warm, and while he chirping, he moving his wings. You know what I'm saying? Now his chirp done changed a little bit. Now he's singing, he getting excited and getting louder and louder and out of nowhere, a cat came and swiped the motherfucker up and ate the damn bird. Right?
Oh,
The moral of the story is every time somebody shit on you or you in a situation where you feel you being shitted on, it might be for your betterment. You might have to go through some shit to get better, right? But whenever you find yourself in deep shit, keep your mouth shut.
the last part. Why the fuck? Because if he was quiet, the cat wouldn't have known that he was about to break free. And why the fuck would the cat eat a bird with some shit on it? That's just nasty,
Hey,
nasty.
it was hungry. But yeah, my cousin thought I
Take
was
your
breaking
mouth
down some real
on.
philosophical shit. But
Nah, that
nah,
is
that was a
deep.
story. But nah, definitely. One of my coaches told me that story one time, and it made me laugh in a situation where I was ready to hurt somebody. So it was cool. Um, but nah, and then my other favorite one is my mom. My mom used to ask me when I get mad, she'd be like, "You pissed off?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And she'd be like, "Well, it's better be pissed off than pissed on. Better get over that shit."
Get over it, cause life don't care, and you don't
I
want to
don't
get
give a
pissed on.
damn. Hell
I almost
yeah.
got pissed on one time, D.
Oh
That
shit. That golden shower. Tell me about it.
pissed on. Wasn't even a golden shower. Okay, quick story time. Quick story. Don't judge my life, y'all. So
Oh
it's
Lord.
I had freshly come home from overseas, so my body was banging, and I was doing working out I think it was like every Tuesdays and Thursdays. I would tell a group of girls like, "Yo, come to the park. We gonna go work out." So anyway, I met my homeboy. We was kicking it. One of my boo things. We was kicking it. One of my other homegirls had a house party one night. Her mom was out of the went out of town, so she had a house party. My bad, Miss Mouse, because I'm telling all the secrets, but we definitely had a house
Hmm.
party. Party
Right.
was rocking. Party was this. We grown. This is me fresh coming back from overseas. And my boo thing, he was playing for the Globetrotters at that time. He was on the traveling team for the Globetrotters. So we ain't even sleep with each other yet. Like we wouldn't sleep with each other, nothing like that. But the party was rocking. Everybody fell asleep at the house. So me and my boo thing laid up, cuddled up on a futon, sleep, knocked out. His best friend then came upstairs because he downstairs with one of my own other homegirls that was a hooper. His ass thinking that he in the bathroom, he started peeing on a damn coffee table above our fucking head. So me and my boot thing jump up like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? He like, yo, like this, like he get his homeboy clean it up. That's the first time me and my ex boot thing had did it, and that came from almost getting peed on. Don't judge my life, y'all. I got some stories.
No, I can see how almost getting pissed on together would make you want to have how it's like going through a waterfall together, right? So y'all decided, okay, yeah, why not? Like there was a dick out, so you might as well pull. I don't know what y'all were thinking, but I guess,
I don't know. We were
I guess,
young. This is
really,
early 20s. Don't judge my fucking life, y'all.
yeah, no, no, no judgment at all. We not judging. We not judging.
Have a good
You know,
night, coach.
y'all.
Thank you for being patient with me tonight. I
Anytime,
apologize.
anytime. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we going at 11 again, right? We
Yes,
11
sir. And I'm
o'clock
gonna be available.
tomorrow. We'll be here.
Watch the movement,
Thank you.
guys, at Mid Major Mindset everywhere. Please watch, follow, and share. Have a great night, coach.
Good night. Morning. Bye.